Well, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. I'm Josh. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. My name's Parker Jensen, spelled with a J. I know it says G,
Cool.
but other than that, yeah.
Absolutely, buddy. So you spoke with Matthew on my team, and he tells me you're looking at getting started in the wholesaling or real estate.
Yeah, he was a great help. He mentioned a lot of the stuff, so I just had mainly questions about like how to really get into it and how to kind of like network myself. So he mentioned driving for dollars is like a great starting point if you don't have the money to like put into a software.
Yep.
So I've been doing that a little bit for the past 2 days, and I haven't had much luck. Um, I can find the properties pretty well because I live in Baltimore, so we have a lot of construction that has to be done. If you know what I'm saying.
Where do
Um,
you live in Baltimore?
I live in Towson. Right,
Okay.
right. You guys are out of Timonium, correct?
Yep.
We're right here.
I live in Florida, but the team is
Okay.
based out of there.
Okay.
I'm from there. We just moved like 3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. Damn.
Yep, right up the road though.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm that area. So like West Towson area. So that's my other question that I was kind of wondering, and I was hoping that you could possibly give me some insight on that. Um, is there any point of trying to wholesale a house that's worth like 450,000 to 600, or is that not really?
It's harder for sure.
Okay, yeah,
You have to look and find places where you can find value because if
okay,
you're wholesaling, if you want to wholesale,
yep,
sign a contract, you have to be able to make a spread or a delta in the
okay,
middle,
yep,
right?
yeah,
So you have to be able to sell it to someone who's still going to be able to make money on it,
yep,
and you have to collect your fee within that. So
correct,
you can
yeah,
get at a real deep discount. It's just hard. In Towson, let's be real. In Towson, in a lot of neighborhoods, people
yep,
know what it's worth, and most
right,
of the time they don't need to sell it. You
yeah,
go to Parkville, you go to Rosedale, you go to Dundalk, those
yep,
people, are a different class of people, and a lot of the time they need to sell. And
okay,
a
so
lot
like,
of times they also are not as demanding for getting a higher dollar because
right,
they
but
don't have
close
those
to it,
options.
okay, so start to look at those areas more. Would you?
Yeah, everyone loves the west side and the east side.
Okay,
You go to the west side, you got Gwynn Oak and Catonsville and all that around. I'm talking right like around the Beltway.
yep,
And easier to find deals in Gwynn Oak. Catonsville can be very tough.
okay,
Halethorpe is okay. So go around the Beltway, but the richer areas, I don't say stay away from. They're just harder to find deals.
but kind of avoid almost. Okay.
Yeah. When you're driving for dollars, what are you looking for though?
So the first day that I drove, I went down York Road towards the city, and we were kind of looking at like the townhome areas. So like there was a lot of vacancies. There were some duplex that were vacant. Um, so that was another question I had. But I'm kind of looking for like single family because that's what Matthew recommended that a lot of house flippers are looking for, like single family homes.
When
Recent.
he says when he says single family, he also means townhouses though.
Okay. Okay.
So townhouses included.
Okay. So townhomes and uh, separated. Would you look at duplexes as well as an
Absolutely.
option? Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Most
just
of the time, what you're calling a duplex, though, is probably like a split. So
yeah.
it means there's two individual houses just joined. It looks like a duplex. So they're
Okay.
probably two separate owners. That's
Okay.
not the same owner most of the time.
Okay. So you can buy those one individual units and sell them.
Mhm.
Okay. Brandon Homes. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm writing this all down.
All
Um,
good.
so what would you say is like a good average to kind of like on a value? So what I also did is I went on Zillow and I kind of looked up like those houses in those areas and seen like the market value of what it is right now as is, even though it's off market, so Zillow doesn't have like a price of what they're looking for. Um, would you shoot for like the 250,000 to 300,000 range? Okay.
Yeah. So I love Parkville. And you go to Parkville, those townhouses, the all brick townhouses, the ones built in the 50s and 60s,
Yep.
all those, you just want to learn an area first and then expand. So Parkville, I know, for instance, the ARV on most of those is 250.
Okay.
All fixed up, fully fixed up, 250. Most
250.
of them, if it's run down or it's original, they're going to require 50 to 60 grand to get put into those.
Okay.
So on
So,
those, you have to reverse engineer the calculation for your price. But the hardest thing is really learning the price
yep.
and understanding the rehab cost and then arriving at a price that makes sense to you in the flipper, and
Yep.
then also making that offer.
Okay.
A lot of pieces that go into that. But I'll tell you in Parkville, if it's worth 250, it needs 50 or 60 a full rehab. I want to buy those at 125 to 145.
Okay. So shoot for 125 to 145. Okay.
Definitely. And you want to start with people who need to sell.
Okay. How would
Vacant landlords in foreclosure, they owe taxes,
Yep.
probate, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah, Matthew did mention Kang, the wholesale to millions guy.
Oh,
Um
King Kong, or whatever they
yeah,
call him.
Kong, yeah, that's what his thing is. He has a software, I don't know if you guys use it. It's King Data AI.
He's just
Um
labeling someone else. He didn't really come up with it. I don't even know what it is, but
okay.
he's white labeling prop stream or batch leads or something like that.
Yeah, so that's kind of my question of just like how do I find leads on a greater scale in an area without having to drive around? If that makes any sense.
I would pull a list of vacant houses,
Okay.
and then I would drive to the vacant houses and make sure they're vacant
Yep.
and try to get those people on the phone.
Okay.
That's actually how I started my career. Just pulled a list of vacant houses in Baltimore County and just started cold calling them, asking if they wanted to sell. And I
Okay.
found leads and
Yep.
started advancing the conversation and just meeting them over there. But here's
And
what if I were you. You seem serious.
yeah.
Um, you can either pull those. We might be able to help you out with pulling those.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
If you get someone who's interested in selling, get us back in the loop, and you could
Yeah.
shadow one of my guys to the appointment to figure out how they do it. Right? That's like the fastest way.
Okay, yeah. Matthew also mentioned joint venture contracts as well that you guys do as well.
Yeah, that's essentially what I just talked about there.
Yeah. So if I were to find someone, I could come to you and you guys could kind of walk me through that process as well. Okay,
Absolutely.
awesome. And so if I'm looking for a property at that's another question I had for you. The contract situation, because Matthew mentioned that you guys paid a lawyer to draft your contracts. Would you recommend the same thing for me as well, or just kind of just find a template?
You get serious about it and you bring us something and we sign into a contract, I'll give you a copy of our contract that you can use.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, that's awesome. And then yeah, so I'm kind of just breaking down because my main whole thing was like the value after renovations.
Yeah, the
Um
ARV.
yeah, the ARV. Um damn, okay. So and then he also mentioned the mentorship program as well that you offer.
hmm
Could I get some more information about that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you a website after this.
Okay.
Uh, my other partner and I teach a group of investors
Yep.
how to close deals, right? Essentially marketing and sales.
Yep.
You're a little too young in the game to do it, not too young age-wise, but you just haven't done enough deals yet. So
Right.
it
Yeah.
probably doesn't make sense for you, but I do have like a master class that we did on acquisitions.
Okay.
I have that. I'll send it to you on the site, so you
Okay.
can check that out if you want.
Yep.
Um, you do that. We have the class. We sold the class and we sold seats. And the last one we did last year, we sold like 50 some seats. It was
Okay.
really good. And I have a recording up for that. It's less than I sold it for before. I think I have it for 199 up there.
Okay.
If if you want to buy that, I'll send you some leads and then we can start working those together. And if you find a really good lead, we'll run an appointment. And then if we sign the deal, we'll obviously pay you on it and then I'll give you
Yep.
my contract. So we'll go step by step here.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Is just someone not really to like hold my hand through the process, but kind of just be there as an outlet if I ever find like come across a hiccup that I can just reach out for or reach out to. Um, would you recommend still just using like True People Search and Fast People Search to get the contact information from them?
It's easy enough. And if you want to pay for something, I use Skip Genie.
Skip Genie.
Skip Genie, yeah, Skip
Yeah.
Genie is pretty good. It's the best data that there is, like
Yep.
search one off.
Okay.
The other system that I use is Batch Leads. Batch Leads is really good. I've been using that for a long time, but that's really when you like scale up
Right.
and you need more organization.
Okay.
So for now, if I were you, just to be very bare bones,
Yep.
I would go in and use Excel or Google Sheets and
Okay.
just track. Like I would use one tab and I would track like, if we work together and I send you some vacant houses, I would put it there.
Okay.
And then you would skip trace them and add contact information. And then once you've talked to them, I would move them to a different tab.
Okay.
And then once they tell you they want to sell, then like a different tab, right? So you know which ones to work.
Down as possibly selling, not selling at all, haven't even answered yet, and then kind
Yep.
of separate them through there. Okay. So separate leads.
And I'll even send you, if you want to buy the master class, I even have a different master class where I go through my scripts and stuff like that that I'll send you for no cost.
That
Uh,
was a question I had.
you just need to know up front, you need to know, are they interested in selling at
Yep.
all? And
Okay.
if they're not, bye bye, don't waste your time. If they're possibly interested, when should we reconnect? If they're definitely interested, you want to dive in and find out more details and qualify them as a lead, and then essentially figure out how you can get to an appointment.
Okay. So, okay. Hell yeah. All right. And so it usually takes 30 days to close a deal, correct? On average.
30 to 45.
Okay. There's this one guy, Cam, on TikTok. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He mentioned that if you put in your contract, if you like close the closing costs, it's
We
like
pay for
a
the closing costs, yeah.
okay. So we would cover, or I would cover closing costs. Okay. And would
If
that
you, but
out?
if you assign it, then that person covers the closing costs.
Okay. That was my question. If I write it on the contract, so everything that I would sign in the sale agreement, once I assign it, that contract is assigned to the other person, but I throw my assigner's fee in the assignment of contract. Okay.
Yep. So you get under contract for 100, you sell
Yeah.
it for 120, you collect 20 even,
Yep.
they buy it for 120 plus closing costs.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And that's kind of why you shoot for that 125 to 150 or 145K range for buying, just because it kind of gives
I,
them room.
no, like on Parkville, I'll actually buy them. I don't assign them there. I'll take them down and
Okay.
buy them. So
Okay. Yeah.
you want to buy it and then still have equity in the deal, right? So I want to be in and be 70% in. That means after I'm renovated, I want to have 30% equity in the deal,
Okay.
right? So if it's worth 250, then
Yep.
I want to have what is that? 60. I want to have 75 grand worth of equity in. So I want to be all in for like 175. So I buy for 125, closing costs, et cetera, renovation. I want to be in for 175.
Okay.
And then I go refinance and get
Perfect.
out of my hard money loan.
Yep.
And I can get a loan for 250.
Yep.
Uh, right. They say it's worth 250, but I get a loan for 175, 180, and then it cash
Okay.
flows.
Okay. Yeah. But for me, wholesaling. Okay. Okay.
Let me give you this formula.
Yeah.
Wholesale 10 houses and keep one, right?
Wholesale 10 houses, keep one.
Wholesale 10 houses and keep one. You don't want to wholesale forever because you're going to owe Uncle Sam a bunch of money
Yep.
and you're not going to have anything valuable, right? So
Correct.
wholesale 10 houses and make sure you keep one of them.
Okay. And that's just for the passive income after the fact.
And to build your net worth and to
Okay.
depreciate and to take away your tax burden.
Because
So,
that's write off, correct?
yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So that's good advice. If you wholesale 100 houses, then you got 10 rentals.
Yep.
And there comes a time, look, when you don't want to have to wholesale anymore,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
You don't want to have wholesaling is a job. You get up, and
Yeah.
I have a team of 10 people, and I have bills that are over $100,000 a month. And it's
Okay.
cool
Wow.
when you make
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Right.
Um, but then other months, no, if you get no deals, you still have to pay $100,000 to your people in your marketing.
Yeah. You're kind of stuck in
Like, have
there.
you ever seen our TV commercial on?
No, I have not. I don't really watch TV.
Well, that's good. Good for you. But we're on
Yeah.
5 local channels, and
Okay.
we the TV commercials, right? That's like 15 grand a month that I'm just spending out no matter what. So it better
Yeah.
bring in.
Okay. And that's another question I had for you. Matthew mentioned Facebook groups and Facebook. Would you recommend like Nextdoor as well, Craigslist,
For
stuff?
what, advertising?
Yeah.
No, I mean Craigslist. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that you can still find deals. To be
Yeah.
honest, on Craigslist.
Okay.
Facebook also very hard because that's what other people do.
Yeah.
To find deals, like you're in Baltimore County, I would go to the Baltimore County site and
Okay.
figure out how to pull the probate deals, how to find probate leads, and how to find pre-foreclosures.
Probate
I'm not going
leads.
to give you all the game, but you got to go on there and figure out
Yep.
how to pull them and
Okay.
that process because then you can narrow it down and you're like, oh shoot, there's like three foreclosures right up the road from me. Let
Yep.
me knock on the door, and talk to
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
And
So that is something you would recommend if they live local, just go door to door, just kind of knock on their door and see what they're kind of doing.
absolutely,
Okay.
especially if you go pull code violations too.
Yep.
Like, because we pull code violations, and there's a lot of them that say, like, this house has been vacant for a while, or it has squatters, or the old lady died, or
Right. Yeah.
whatever it may be. And you go knock on that door. I mean, you're going to find some pissed off people, but you're going to learn how to talk to people really quick.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the other thing. When I hop on like some of these calls and they actually do pick up, most of the time they just tell me to fuck off. So it's like I'm kind of trying to find like a good way to kind of like get into the call and explain myself as a real estate investor.
You don't
But
need you don't even need to.
no.
You don't need to explain yourself to them. You just want to
Okay.
you got to get a quick hook up front, and you got to make sure that they don't think of you as a telemarketer, right?
Okay. Yeah.
If they can identify you as a telemarketer right up front, they're going to hang up on you. I do it to people all
Right.
the time. But
Okay.
when you sound genuine, like a real person, not salesy, not telemarkety,
Yeah.
they won't hang up on you.
Okay. So sound like a human.
Absolutely. I
Okay.
have a formula for this in some of my scripts.
Say that one more time. I apologize.
I have a formula for it in some of my scripts, like
Okay.
how we stand out and what we use.
Okay. Yeah. Shit. So and so kind of stick to a script almost in a way.
Absolutely. You have
Okay.
to learn. Here, look, I'm going to put it right here in the side, reisalesclass.com.
Okay. Yep.
But go there. That's the one that's a paid class, but it's 4 hours and it's
Okay.
the recording. And it talks all about this stuff. So it'd be a good starting place for you for sure.
Okay. Just for the 199. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
So that'll teach you a lot about the psychology and how to use your language to like uncover. And then you can go deeper past there. But that's a good starting point for sure.
Okay. So if you were to, so again, like I mean, I haven't even closed the deal yet. So you'd say still drive for dollars if I can not get like all this stuff, but like hit up Parkville, Glen Oak, Hillthorpe, a little bit of Catonsville, look for a house around 250,000, and then offer them like 115 to like 135 maybe.
You're going to have to run the numbers, but that's probably the range that you want. It just
Okay.
depends on the deal and how much work it needs.
And I
I,
shouldn't look for a house that's before like 1950 construction.
you can, it's fine. It just
Okay.
it's a bigger renovation for sure. But
Okay.
I would say you can drive for dollars, but the purpose of driving for dollars is to build your list.
Yeah.
With your list, you still have to do something. You have to mail them or you have to call them, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So if you have to build your list, then yes. If you can go find probate deals or probate leads, you can find foreclosures, you can find vacancies,
Yep.
then that is your list. You might as
Okay.
well just go on the phone and call them. Like, do you have
Yep.
a dialer or are you just using your cell phone?
I have a cell phone.
Use your cell phone to start. And then if you wanted a simple dialer, I would go and get Mojo dialer,
Okay.
because that way you can load up. Let's just say you get 1,000 people and you skip trace them and get their phone numbers and stuff. You can load them up in there
Yep.
and hit play, and then it dials ring, 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 and
One
you
by
don't have to
one.
touch it. And then they're hello, and then
Yep.
you can control it. Click, hang up,
Okay.
whatever it may be, or click a lead, and you're on to the next. But that way you can dial, 100 an hour.
Really fast. Yeah. Okay.
Because
So
all you got to do, you're going to find leads, right? You've ever heard about a sales funnel?
no, I'm not.
Think about a funnel. It's wider at the top and narrower at the bottom, right?
Yep.
So you're going to have to look at, 5,000. You're going to have to look at a list of like 5,000 to find 500 people that possibly want to sell. And then you dial those 500 and you're only going to get, 50 or 100 connections. And then those
Right.
50 or 100 connections, you're going to find, 5 or 10 people who want to say, yes, I'm possibly interested. And of those 5 or 10 connections, you're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 really good connections where they say, yeah, like let's go on out to the property, right? So it
Yeah.
gets narrower and narrower.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
going to have to load in volume at the top to get anything out of the bottom. If you only put 10 people in at the top, you're never going to get anything out of the
Okay.
bottom.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's the other thing. So I was on a phone call with my cousin yesterday. They're in commercial real estate. They work mainly out of like Palm Beach, Florida. Um, but he was like, don't be afraid to get rejected. Like you're gonna have to understand how to do that. So that's kind of what I'm like,
Yep.
getting right now.
All the
Um,
fuck offs and no's get you closer to the next yes.
yeah, that's kind of what he mentioned. And then the other thing that he mentioned is getting my real estate license. I know that
Good.
you need it, but he said it's like a great help when it comes that you do need it. Um, would you recommend any like class specifically for that?
It depends if you want to be a realtor or not.
I
Uh,
really don't want to, but I want to just like have it there as a possibility.
I don't personally think that it helps so much. The only reason that it helps is to use the MLS, so you don't
Okay.
have to hello and you right and you can find comps and stuff.
Yep.
My wife is a realtor. She's
Okay.
also my business partner. But we've not used her as a realtor to
Okay.
buy or sell any of our wholesale deals.
They
So
don't.
I don't think so. I mean, if you want to get versed on the terminology and things like that, fantastic.
Yep.
But they're teaching you all by the book. It's like a business professor teaching you business. If
Okay.
the business professor has never been in business, right? He's teaching you the
Right.
terms and stuff
Yeah.
about it. But
Yep.
when you get out of his class, you're gonna feel like you know something, and then when you get in the business world, you're gonna be like, I knew nothing about what business
It's
is actually about.
like yeah.
Same
Okay.
kind of thing.
Okay. Shit. All right.
I don't know.
So
If I knew, you, I just start grinding right away, and
yep.
I'm probably calling vacant houses first, and then code violations, foreclosures, probates. Like you want to just think of, you want to focus in on the people that need to sell.
Right.
Foreclosure,
Like yeah.
probates, those guys need to sell. Vacancies don't necessarily need to sell, but if they sit long enough,
Yeah.
something can happen to them, right?
Okay.
And people get tired of paying taxes on
Yep.
vacant houses because they're paying $100, $200 a month just for it to sit there.
Right. Would you recommend bringing that up because on Zillow it says like how much the property taxes went up? I don't want to seem like I'm like looking into their business. Um.
It depends. No, I mean, the script that I'll tell you about is the four pillars of motivation, and that's what you need to figure out. Like, if you did sell, why would you?
Okay.
What's your timeline? Why are you thinking about selling? What's the condition of the property? How much do you owe?
Yep.
Right? That kind of stuff. You need to know that to figure out if it's even a deal for you. But
Okay.
you want to position yourself as not needing the property, right? Oh, you don't want to sell? No worries. I have a million other people I'm talking to today. No
Okay.
worries at all,
Yeah.
right? You don't want
Yeah.
to sound like you're pressed to get their deal or you need their deal.
Okay.
That's not the vibe that you want to give off.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of like take control of the conversation in a way.
Absolutely, you have to, for
Yeah.
sure.
So four pillars of motivation, vacants, code violations, probates. I try to get like tax delinquents from my court clerk or clerk of court. And she was like, yeah, we only do those in August. And I was like, okay. So I don't know if I could still like pull the list.
Yeah, because what you're looking, she's talking about August for 20, August would be 25,
Yeah.
right? If you
Yeah.
don't pay, you have to pay your taxes by July 1st, I believe. And if you
Yep.
don't, then that's why she said
Yeah.
August, because then it's
Okay.
going to auction. But what you're looking for is last year or the year before that they
Okay.
didn't.
Yeah.
Because in Maryland, you have a 2 year right of redemption period. So you
Okay.
have 2 years to pay your back taxes and you have all these fees and stuff to pay on it. And if you don't pay after 2 years, then they're coming to foreclose on your house. They're coming to take it away.
Okay.
So
So
what you're
as
actually looking for is
so 24.
2023 tax sale because if they don't pay by this July, they're getting foreclosed on.
Okay.
So you got, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months for them to pay.
Yep.
So that's what you're looking for is the 2023 tax
Okay.
list.
Excellent. Okay. That gives me something.
So you need to find people that have a sunset. They
Okay.
have a deadline to
Yeah.
sell, right? And that's foreclosure and tax delinquencies.
Okay. So try to get the 2023s, call them up, and then what if they have like a lien still on their house? How
That's
does that
fine.
play into proportion for
It
whole?
gets paid off by the title company. So let's just say they owe 60, you offer them 100, right? They find the payoff at closing or before closing, and then they take the 100 from you or the end buyer and pay off their 60 and then give them the 40.
Okay. So that'll nothing will fall on me if the liens It won't come out. Okay, I was just making sure it wouldn't come out of like the cut that I'm trying to make from it.
Nope.
Okay, man. And for would you recommend those signs that are like "We buy houses, cash, any condition"? Or I mean, I've never seen someone actually dial the phone seeing those.
I know that people have actually pulled deals out of them. It's
Okay,
just a different form of hustle, right? So you're going to work this lead, you're going to think about this as lead generation,
okay,
and then lead management, and then acquisitions, and then dispositions. So it's like finding the lead and then talking to the lead and seeing if they're a really good lead or bad lead or no lead,
yep,
and then going on the appointment to try to buy it and then trying to sell it, right?
okay,
So just separate lead management and lead generation. Lead generation comes first. You're always going to need to generate leads.
yep. And then lead management.
Yep. So lead
Then
management is when like after you've identified, yes, I want to sell.
yep,
At that point, then it's lead management. You're trying to qualify them and see, okay, it's a lead, but how good of a lead? Is it a smoking lead or is it a shitty lead?
okay, lead man. And then you'd recommend DocuSign for most of the paperwork.
Yeah, but that's like a later step. You know,
Okay,
you'll sign it in person. If I'm you, I'm trying to meet the person there in person and get them to sign on the paper.
okay, yep. And then I meant or I watched a few videos. They were like take pictures of circuit breakers, roofs if available to take pictures of, um frames, kind of the leveling of the property. Um would you consider that stuff to be like a negotiation point if like the roof hasn't been done in
Oh, definitely. It definitely is. Yeah.
okay,
It's
cool.
only worth so much. It's worth 250 after it's all fixed up. So if you have
Yep.
to put 100 into it, your
Yeah.
offer is going to be less. If you have to put 20 into it, your offer is going to be more.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
Man.
definitely. I got
Okay.
to go in just a few minutes, but here, let's write down
Yep.
some action points.
Okay. Yeah.
One, go to the URL that I sent you, and no
Okay.
pressure, but if you want to buy the class, that's a good
I
starting
think
point.
so. Yeah.
If you buy that, then I'll send you my, just email me and I'll send you my scripts
Okay.
so you can start using those on the phone. Okay.
Okay.
Once you find the lead, you want to use the scripts to qualify them and figure out, is this a really good lead? And if it's a really good lead, you're going to say, okay, Mr. Seller, like our next steps are for me to come out in person
Yep.
and check the property out so I can give you an exact cash offer on the spot.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
If you get to that point, you get back in touch with me and we'll run the appointment and you can shadow us and you can see how it
Okay.
works. Okay.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
And then past
So
that, we can talk about what it looks like. But I would really just focus on lead generation and
lead
then
man.
lead management, right?
Okay.
Focus on those pieces right now. So talk to a bunch of people and
Yep.
figure out what they sound like and then go and try to qualify them.
Okay. And if I can find the lead management, I don't have a what's it called, a uh sale agreement contract yet.
You
Would
don't
you
need it yet.
toss that over if I can find a good lead, or should I just get one?
Yeah, we'll take it on the appointment. Well,
Okay.
we would have it. And then if we sign it, I'll give you the agreement.
Okay. Awesome. So just try to find lead generation, lead management, and scripts, and just call
Load
them.
up. If I'm you, I run out and I go get Mojo Dialer
Okay.
because then you're going to start to pay for it. It's like $100, $120, something a month like that.
Okay.
But then I'll be like, oh shit, the clock's ticking. Let me load this up. Let me get 1,000 numbers in here as fast as possible.
Yep.
Right. And so I would either to get those numbers, the fastest way to get 1,000 is
Yep.
going to be batch leads.
Batch leads. Okay.
Here, I'll give you an affiliate. Batch. You get a discount if you use,
Your code.
yeah.
All right. Awesome. Would you also recommend a more business casual or a business look if you're going property to property?
It's all your style, bro.
Okay.
Like if you wear the jacket and that's you, then wear that.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know if it came across too like businessy, I guess. More.
Nope. Here go. I'm gonna send you this too. So
All right.
this chat is going to. You're not gonna have access to it after we close.
Okay. Yeah, let me
This,
save all these links.
yeah, or click it and open it.
Yep. Here we go.
So batch leads, you'll be able to go to Baltimore County and pull up a bunch of vacants, and then like download them. Right, skip tracing them and download them. And
Yep.
that's what I would start loading up into your dialer right away because you can get 1,000, 2,000 very easily.
Okay.
Then if you get wrong numbers or you can't reach someone that looks like a really good lead, then I would use Skip Genie.
Okay.
But this is a really good Skip Genie. You're going to skip trace one by one. Batch leads, you can go in and skip trace. You can go Baltimore County or Parkville, vacants, skip trace all of them, download all of them in like a few clicks, and then put them in Mojo Dialer.
And then just start calling.
That's it. If I'm
Okay.
you, I probably start with one zip code and
Okay.
then work your way up and see how you can build on that.
Okay. So kind of just try to get my first deal before I try to go to like the virtual aspect, really anything else. Just try to get the first.
You got to generate some leads and turn them into appointments. That's all. That's all I would focus on. Have as
Okay.
many conversations as possible to figure out who are leads and if they don't want to, if they want to sell, but not now. When
Yep.
are you looking at selling ideally? When, or is it by springtime? Is it by the end of summer? Is it by the end of the year? Right? You got to
Okay.
figure out when, so then you can follow up with them.
Okay. Yeah. All right. This sounds awesome. I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Dude, go get them. If you get a good lead and you can run an appointment,
Yep.
get back in touch with us and we'll run the appointment with you and show you how it's done. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That sounds awesome.
Parker, have a great day. It's been a
Yep.
pleasure.
You too. Thank you so much, Mr. Hines.
See you, buddy.
Appreciate you.